Hi there, how are you? This is Lois. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share this video. Okay, today I want us to talk about tax season and taxes for newcomers to Canada. I am just gonna say that I am not a tax expert, no, but I deal with immigrants, so my job is to educate you a little bit about the things that you'll be expecting once you arrive in Canada and some of your obligations as a Canadian newcomer. So that is where this video comes in. So yes, I said I'm not a tax specialist, I am an immigration consultant, and for the purpose of this video, this is not legal advice. This is for your information. These are tips I do give to people who are getting ready to come to Canada, people who are preparing to come to Canada, and they're just going to prepare you. Okay, all right. So tax season. So just like a lot of places where you're coming from, you will be expected to pay taxes here in this country, because a lot of the services that we enjoy here, from healthcare to schools to security, all these good services that we do enjoy here for free, they are funded by the taxpayers. Okay, so it's necessary that you pay taxes when you are a Canadian resident. Okay, and the tax season actually does start from it starts from January until April 30. And you know what? I had made this video. I made this video last week. I had not posted it, but now I've had to do it again because of the ongoing pandemic of COVID-19, because a few changes have happened with this pandemic. So from the ongoing, I know you know what is happening everywhere. So with that, the deadline has been extended to June, is it June 30th? So now we have a little more time to file our taxes. Okay, all right. Yes, because you know, with the lockdown, with people not doing anything, with businesses being closed, I think it's going to be very hard for you to go meet your tax person and file your taxes. However, I'm gonna say that you can still do your taxes online. You can file your taxes online for yourself. We have some softwares for filing taxes, and I have done this myself. So there is a software called TurboTax, and I'm not getting money from TurboTax. I'm just telling you something that I have used, that that we do use. We file our own taxes through TurboTax. Okay, all right. Anyway, I'll get there. Yeah, so it is tax season, and you as a newcomer, you are obligated to pay taxes in Canada. Okay, that is if you're a refugee, you're a claimant, you are a permanent resident, or you are a resident, a Canadian resident, you are expected to pay taxes. Okay, yeah. So you will need, you know that all the time, to be able to work in Canada, you need the social insurance number. That is the SIN number. So you will need that social insurance number to be able to file your taxes, and also to be able to be eligible for benefits. Because once you file your taxes, you're going to find that you are eligible for benefits, and these benefits include, but not fully, they're not limited to this. So they include the Canada Child Benefits, and that these are for people with children. You also get benefits on GST or HST, and that is the goods and services tax, or the harmonized sales tax, depending on the province that you live in. We also have the provincial and territorial benefits. So these are benefits that you can get, but you only get them once you file your taxes. Okay, as a newcomer, you must file your taxes, even if it's just for a partial year. So it doesn't matter when you arrived in Canada, you're going to be required to file taxes the following year. And get this, it doesn't matter whether you worked or not. If you did not work, you can always file nil returns, and it's the best thing that you will do, because then even if you file those nil returns, you're going to be eligible for benefits. And it's really good for people with families, because then they are able to receive help that actually does take them a long way, because the benefits that you get you get benefits for a whole year after your tax year. So you're going to receive the same benefits for a full financial year. So they're really handy. So it doesn't matter whether you earned or you did not earn, always make sure that you are filing your taxes. Okay, go file new returns. This part, I do tell my clients who are about to come to Canada that you can actually time when you come to Canada. And this is just a trick that I have learned on my own. You can actually time when you come to Canada if possible. If possible, come after the mid-year. If possible, come after May, right? Come after May. And this is something that I found out on my own, because if you come in January, assume you're here in January and you bring your family, you have a full year, because taxes, you're going to file taxes for January to December. Okay, so if you come in January and you're lucky you get a job immediately, or you come already working, then you're going to be counting your full financial earnings, and those ones can tend to be a lot depending on your salary. So when you file taxes the next year, you don't get you don't get many benefits, okay, when you're filing like for a whole year. However, if you arrive after May, May there, and then maybe you don't have a job for a month or two, so you're only going to be filing taxes for the months that you were in Canada. And actually, so you're going to file, let's say an example, you arrive in May and you get your first job in July, right? So you file your taxes from May to December, okay? But then you did not earn a lot of money during that period, but it's still going to be considered as your annual pay for tax purposes. So what happens is that your salary, if you got a good job, then your salary is going to be below the minimum, family wage, family income. And because you earned below, then you end up getting a lot of benefits for the next year. So anyway, next year you're gonna catch up with you, and by that time at least you'll have settled and you'll have some benefits to take you along the way. Okay, so I usually find that it's advantageous, because then the next year, if you only filed for a few months when you came here, then the next year you're going to have a lot of subsidies, whether it's for transit, whether it's for recreational purposes. You're going to have a lot of subsidies. Okay, you're not going to be paying the full pay for another one full year. And guess what? If you have children, then you have a lot of child benefits, because you did not earn a lot of money in that financial year. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay, so how do you file taxes and where do you file taxes? You file taxes, there are organizations here that can help you file taxes. There are individuals who are tax consultants. They are certified and they're going to help you file taxes. So it's up to you to choose where to go. As a newcomer, if you don't have a lot of money, please don't go to those organizations. Some organizations do charge as much as $300 to file taxes for one person. Individuals are going to be charging you anywhere between $30, $40, or $50 per person. Okay, because you don't have complicated taxes, unless you have businesses and corporations and stuff like that. But for simple newcomer, that is just maybe you and your husband, then you better be going to an individual. In your neighborhoods, you're going to see those little adverts all over. You can search online on Kijiji, or you can ask your friends who files taxes for them, and then go. Make sure you're using a licensed tax consultant, because you do not want to get yourself involved in fraud. Okay, all right, yes, you can do that. If you're a newcomer who has no money for some reason, maybe you're a refugee, you do not have money, there are resources that can help you file taxes for free. And those ones are called tax clinics. These tax clinics are usually in the neighborhoods. You can know about them, not all neighborhoods. There are in some community centers. How you know about them? Please go to the nearest library around you, and you will know the services of tax clinics, like where they are. Again, we are in an ideal situation. That's what happens. But we are in Corona situation, we are in Corona season, and I know that the libraries are closed, a lot of places are closed, businesses are closed, so you may not be able to get that information right away. But for future, in case you're watching this video after all this menace is over, you know that you should always go to the library to get services, to know where you can get free tax clinics. Okay, they are free. There are people who do volunteer to do that. Okay, so about that, Students, I just want to mention this because I've been a student. I usually give you my experiences. I've been a student in this country, and if you're working and you're a student, filing taxes is to your advantage. I just want to give this tip. When at the end of the year, after you work, at the end of the year, your employer is going to give you something called the T4, and the T4 is the one that explains the amount of money you earned that year and how much tax was deducted from you. Okay, and so now once you file the tax returns, you may either get a refund, or the government, if they took too much tax from you, they may give you a refund. If they undertaxed you, then you may have to pay them back. Okay, not just for students, this is for everybody. Okay, so what happens if you're a student? If you're a student, the employer, because I know that I went through that, the employer usually says, so if you're going to school, we don't want to be taxing you a lot, so there's a form they'll give you to fill, then you're undertaxed, so that you don't feel the burden of being in school and paying too much tax. So per month, maybe they're going to be taxing you maybe something less, like $50 per pay. Okay, but it may feel better. If you don't have the money, it's good. It's okay to feel that form if you do not have the money. If you have the money to live by, it's usually really nice when you're a student and then you file your taxes, you claim your school fees, your tuition, your books, your exams and all that, and you get a nice payout. You get really good tax credits, because as a student you may be getting up to maybe 5,000, something depending on the amount of school fees you paid. You may even get 10,000 depending on the school fees you paid. I know I was a student, and I didn't let my employer tax me less, so I was taxed like a normal person, and at the end of the day, when I did my taxes, I was getting really good tax credits. So you may want to consider that. Okay, another thing that you need, and this is, I'm not a financial person, but I'll make a video on this. Once you come here, for your first year as a newcomer, you have so many tax breaks, and you're going to realize that some things you do, they're going to affect your taxes. Things like giving to charity, that tithe you give in church, the tithe, the offering, it's all tax deductible. So make sure that you're going to a church that can claim, that is going to give you a tax receipt at the end of the year. Then you can see that you paid tithe this much, you paid offerings this much, you help people on GoFundMe and places like those. All those people are going to give you a tax receipt, and you can claim that some percentage of the money that you give to charity from your tax return. So it's really good, and especially when you're a newcomer, you get more, especially for charitable organizations. Okay, all right. The other thing that can really help you is there's something called RRSP here, and RRSP is like a retirement thing. It's called the Registered Retirement Savings Plan. This is one of the things that you should have immediately you get into this country and you start earning money, because this is a plan whereby you put money towards your retirement. Guess what? The money that you put towards your retirement gets big tax cuts. Okay, so you're going to get big tax breaks because of that money that you put for retirement. So let us assume that you're new, and maybe you earned let's say you earned 70,000 in that year. So in 70,000, if you are able to put about 20,000 into your RRSP, okay, when they count the amount of money that you earned that is taxable income for that year, they're only going to count 50,000. So that brings your salary, your taxable income way down. And the beauty of having your taxable income way down is because now you're also gonna get a lot of benefits for the next year, especially if you have children, GST and stuff like that. You're going to get a lot of benefits simply because they do not consider that you earned a lot of money. But you did earn a lot of money, but guess what? You put that money into your RRSP. Okay, so make sure you're talking with your financial person to take care of that. I always find that really important, because you can always use your RRSP for other reasons, other functions that I am going to make a video specifically for RRSPs, for RESPs, just so that you know some things that you really need to do once you get here to secure your financial future and that of your children. Okay, anyway, today I'm talking about taxes, so make sure that you're filing your taxes so that you can get your benefits. If you're able to time the time that you arrive in Canada, that is really good. If you're in school, make sure that you're getting the right tax cuts as a student. And yeah, make sure you go use a professional to file your taxes, or you can do it for yourself online through TurboTax. I believe there are other softwares that you can use, but that is the one that I use. Okay, all right, so take care. Let's watch out for whatever developments that come out of this season. We don't know. So until businesses are open, you may not be able to visit a tax consultant, but these are things that you need to put in mind when you're coming here, so that you prepare yourself and you know that you'll be expected to pay taxes at the end of the year. So the tax season is usually January to April. This year we have an exception, so it's January to June. Okay, all right, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Hope I'll see you at my next video. Bye now.